Hey. Hi, welcome back to the Balance HI podcast. I'm your host, Samantha Lugine. All right, welcome back. Day one of the HANYS Middle Manager Training did not come to play. If I had to describe it in one sentence, it felt like leadership school meets Oprah meets a surprise episode of The Office. We covered leadership styles, conflict resolution, the PACE model, the 3 C's communication model, the secret personality of the ambivert, motivating language theory, and the power of presence. Yes, all of that in 3 hours, which was a long training, but it didn't feel like it. So today, we're not just going to talk about what we learned, we're going to talk about what we felt. Because you know me, I'm not just here to give bullet points. I'm here for the ooh moments, the wee, that's me moments, the oops or uh-oh, I've been doing that wrong moments, I'm absolutely using this in my next team meeting moments. Let's get into it. We kicked off with leadership styles, and they come in like Taylor Swift era tours. Every era showed up. The visionary era, the democratic era, the I don't micromanage, but I'm watching from afar era, the I'm delegating because I'm so overwhelmed era, the I'm just trying not to drown era. All of them. We walk through different styles, of course. Authoritative, democratic, coaching, the pace setting, the servant leadership, transformal, and of course, the classic, I'm not sure what my style is, but I've been promoted 3 times, so something must be working style. But then transformative leadership stepped on the stage like a surprise song in the set of lists, like a surprise song in the set list. And I had to say, ladies and gentlemen, and gender neutrals, one of the Mount Rushmores has entered the chat. But when I talk leadership, I don't think of it as one size fits all. I think of it in eras, in identities, in pillars. And for me, my leadership, Mount Rushmore, is made up of 4 giants: digital, strategic, pioneer, transformative. Digital leaders who understand the digital reality of healthcare, EMRs, AI, informatics, interoperability, portals, health information exchange, cybersecurity, they know that spreadsheets and paper are not going to carry us into the next decade. Because I'm allergic to to paper. Strategic leaders who can zoom out. They are not just asking, what are you doing today? Oh, well, how ambiguous. They're asking, how does this connect to the next quarter, next year, next accreditation, next regulatory change? Pioneer, the ones who say, we haven't done this before, maybe we should. They're willing to be first, to test, to innovate, to ask why not questions. And transformative, the ones who don't just manage people, they shift culture. Those four, that's my Mount Rushmore. Not leadership that just approves, schedules, signs, and answers emails. How boring. Leadership that shapes mindsets, builds systems, challenge old norms, raise the bar. Leadership that moves something. Transformative leadership is not a style you perform in Leadership Month. What is that? It's a lifestyle. It shows up in how you correct people, how you celebrate people, how you handle mistakes, how you respond to change, how you talk about your team when they're not in the room. And the training forced a question. Am I just operating in the role, or am I actually in my transformative leadership era? Because middle managers are often caught in the middle, translating from executives to the team, making things make sense, taking the hit when things don't. If anyone deserves transformative tools, it's us. Yes. Next up was conflict resolution. Because if you manage humans, you manage conflicts. It just comes with the territory and the job description. Invisible writing. And conflict is not always two people yelling at each other in the hallway. Sometimes conflict is an email that you read like it was written with a tired lawyer. Sometimes it's someone closing the door a little too quietly. Sometimes it's, I'm fine, that we all know is code for, I am absolutely not fine and I don't feel safe saying that. The trainer dropped a gem. Conflict is not drama. Conflict is data. In HIM, we work on that, right? Come on now. Put that on a mug. Put that on a slide. Put that on a sticky note in your office. The digital sticky note works just fine. When conflict shows up, it's telling us something. Something is misaligned. Someone feels unseen. A system is broken. Expectations are unclear. Workload is not sustainable. Communication has gaps. We walk through listening without listening just to respond. Asking real questions, not cross-examination, questions where people feel like they're in a courtroom show. Not diagnosing people, She's just dramatic. He's just negative, pessimist. But asking, what's underneath this? What's the root? What pattern is showing up? Because conflict handled well builds trust. Conflict avoided builds resentment. Conflict mishandled builds turnover. I said it in my notes. Conflict resolution is a leadership gym. You don't get stronger by avoiding the weights. You get stronger by lifting that uncomfortable. Lifting the uncomfortable. And this hit especially hard for middle managers because we're often caught between two team members, caught between departments, caught between leadership and the team, caught between what was promised and what we actually have. We must know how to de-escalate, clarify, reframe, refocus people back on the work and the purpose. But also, we must be able to own it when we are part of the conflict. Leaders are not exempt. No, we are not. Sometimes the conflict is. I feel like you never listen. I feel like you dismiss me. I feel like you favor certain people. I know we have gotten that. Those are not easy to hear. They're not supposed to be. But that's where our next leadership era lives, in the uncomfortable. Oh, you like that, right? Bringing it home. Then came the surprise star of the show, the ambivert. And listen, ambiverts are the quiet assassins of balance. I should know. I am one. We are the ones who can give you introvert energy when the room is heavy. We're observing, taking mental notes, seeing the patterns. But let us feel comfortable. Just let us feel safe. Let us feel aligned. Suddenly, we're hosting the whole meeting, facilitating the discussion, cracking a joke. And my jokes can be dry, but sometimes they're funny. Dropping a gem, running the Eras tour of the staff huddle. Ambiverts are adoptable, intentional, measured. We can step forward. Hold up, let me just do it. We can step forward when needed, step back when needed. We don't need to be the loudest, but we are never checked out. Perfect middle manager energy. Because middle managers sit in a space where we have to talk to executives, have to talk to our team, and have to be in big meetings, have to be in one-on-ones. We have to give town hall voice when we're presenting, therapist voice when we're listening, analysis voice when we're explaining data, organizer voice when we're resetting the room. Ambiverts can flex. Ambiverts do not just read the room. They read the room, annotate it, and then publish the summary. And I should know. Like I said, I am one. Ambiverts are often misunderstood. We're not fake extroverts. We're not shy extroverts or social introverts. We're both, depending on the context. Give us a room full of chaos, we are stabilizing it. Give us a room full of silence, we'll break the ice. I love a good icebreaker. As corny as it is, I love it. I don't care. Give us a room with tension, we'll feel it immediately and file it for later, like a mental case study. This training made me see my ambivert identity is not a quirk. It's a leadership asset. Then we hit the emotional gold, the PACE model. PACE stands for playfulness, acceptance, curiosity, and empathy. Simple, but powerful. Let's break it down. Samantha style. Playfulness, not clown, not making jokes when people are hurting. Just enough lightness for people to breathe. It's okay, this is heavy, but we're in this together. It's an energy, a little more humor, a little warmth. It tells people this space is not going to crush you. We can talk about hard things, but you are safe here. Acceptance. Not, why are you like this? Not, you should be stronger. You should be more like, acceptance is, I see you where you are right now. It's making space for people's personalities, their learning curves, their laps, their growth edges. Acceptance doesn't mean we'll never correct. It means we're not trying to erase someone's humanity to make them easier to manage. That was a good one. Curiosity, not interrogation, not cross-examinations, not that sniff, I just need the facts tone. That was a good one for me to keep in mind. Real curiosity is, help me understand what happened from your point of view. Tell me what you need to do this better. What am I not seeing from where you sit? Curiosity removes assumption. Curiosity disarms defensiveness. Curiosity says, I'm here to learn, not to attack. Empathy. Not, I understand, I went through that too, and then turning the spotlight back to your story. Nope. Empathy is, I might not know exactly how that feels, but I care enough to sit in it with you for a moment. I get why that frustrates you. I see why that felt unfair. I hear that you're exhausted. And then, how can we move forward together? I wrote it down like this. PACE is emotional Wi-Fi. If it's weak, nobody can connect. Mhm. When leaders use PACE, teams feel more supported, less defensive, more willing to share, more willing to say. PACE does not mean we're never giving hard feedback. It means we don't give hard feedback in a hard way. We give it with humanity. Then we moved into one of my favorite frameworks, the 3C model. Because communication is where so many managers trip and fall. Not because they can't talk. Most managers can talk all day. All day. We could just talk. But because they are not talking in a way that people can receive. The 3Cs are clarity, confidence, connection. Clarity says what you need, says why you need it, say when you need it, say what success looks like. We have to stop giving instructions like it's riddles on a wheel of fortune. Can I borrow a vowel, please? We need to get this done ASAP. Okay, what is this? What does done look like? Who is we? When is ASAP? The rapper? Today? This week? Before survey? Clarity is we need all charts from November 1st to November 7th coded and billed by Friday at 3 p.m. because revenue cycle is closing the month. If we miss that window, it delays claims, cash flows, and our metrics. Here's who's doing what. Here's how we handle barriers. That's clarity. Confidence. Confidence is not being loud, being arrogant, pretending you know what you don't know. Confidence is owning your role, owning your message, owning your responsibility. Here's the direction. Here's the reason. Here's what I know. Here's what I don't know yet. You can say, I don't have the answers right now, but I will get it. And circle back and still sound confident. You do not have to over-explain, over-apologize, overcompensate. You have to stand in the message. Connection. This is the part that gets neglected. Connection says, I see you as a person, not just as a body on a schedule. It's knowing people's strengths, their communication preferences, their fears, their ambition. It's remembering who just lost someone, who's in school, who is struggling with daycare, who is dealing with health issues. Not to pry, to lead them better. Because people do not follow titles. People follow people. If you want someone to follow your direction, they have to follow your energy first. The 3Cs model is not theory. It's how I send this email, how I run my huddles, how I deliver this correction, how I roll out a change. Clarity, confidence, connection every time. Then we got into the messy part, communication challenges. You know the hits, passive, aggressive emails. As for my last email bombs, the 5-paragraph message for a 10-word problem, or the opposite 2-word response to complex issues. We see teams copying half of the hospital on email without clarity on who needs to do what, text messages at odd hours with no context, meeting invites with no agenda, Slack or Teams messages that read like cryptic fortune cookies, communication breakdowns when we assume people know instead of saying it. They're not psychic. We avoid tough topics instead of naming them. We sugarcoat so hard that nobody knows what we're actually asking. We respond with attitude instead of honesty. We communicate only in our preferred style instead of adopting to the audience. Your team should not need a translator to understand your email. If every conversation with you feels like decoding a puzzle, that's not mysterious leadership. That's unclear leadership. The training pushed us to ask, am I sending mixed signals? Am I saying one thing and doing another? Am I communicating only when there's a problem? Or do I communicate explanations, appreciation, vision, feedback regularly? Because communication is not a once and a year town hall. It's daily drip. Motivating language theory was one of my favorites because it gave language to something intuitive. There are 3 main lanes: making, direction giving, empathetic, meaning making. A lot of managers get stuck in only one lane. They give direction, giving all day long. Do this, fix that, submit this, change that. And yes, direction is necessary. I'm not saying it's not, but it's not sufficient. Let's break it down. Direction giving, this is the what, when, how, not why. It answers, what do I need to do? By when? How will it be measured? People cannot succeed if direction is vague. Empathetic language. This is, I see what this cost you. I understand this is a big change. I know this has been a hard week. Empathetic language, that does not mean you excuse everything. It means you acknowledge the reality of what people are navigating. It creates a psychological safety, space for question, room for honesty. Meaning making. This is where a lot of leaders completely skip out. Meaning making language answers why this matters. How does this connect to something bigger? Why should I care beyond my paycheck? This change will reduce denials, which means less rework, which means less frustration for you and faster revenue for the hospital. This documentation improvement will help our patients get approved for services they actually needed. This new process helps us prepare for survey So we're not panicking 2 weeks before. A manager who only gives direction is just that, a manager. A leader uses all three: clarity in direction, empathy in delivery, meaning in context. I wrote it for myself in my notes like this: direction tells them what to do, empathy tells them they matter while doing it, meaning tells them why it's worth the effort. We close with presence, the leadership kind, not the Amazon delivery kind. Okay. Presence is not volume, title, intimidation, or who talks the most. Presence is security. It's the ability to anchor a space. Communication, calm. Make people feel seen. Bring stability in the chaos. Presence is the leader who walks into a room. I've got to do the motion. During a crisis, and you feel your shoulders drop just a little bit because you know, okay, we're not alone in this. A little secret: I thrive in chaos. My team says it all the time. It's how you stand, how you listen, how you respond when news is bad, how you react when someone makes a mistake. Presence is also not disappearing when things get hard. It's being visible, approachable, grounded, even when you're stressed behind the scenes. Presence is leadership gravity. People feel you before you speak. Sometimes presence is you're sitting quietly in a staff meeting while others talk, but you are locked in, attentive, engaged, listening with your whole face. People can feel that. This training reminded me presence is a skill, not just a trait. You can cultivate it by showing up consistently, following through, owning mistakes, being honest when you don't know, backing your team publicly, coaching them privately. Presence says, I'm not perfect, but I'm here. I'm not going anywhere when things get hard. So that was day one. 3 hours of leadership vitamins. We didn't just get theory, we got mirrors. I'm going to have to drop the mirror emoji there. Leadership styles, Mount Rushmore thinking, conflict as data, ambivert power, the PACE model, the 3C framework, motivating language, presence. Middle managers, we are the backbone of healthcare. We are the engines behind operations, the culture carriers, the translators, the stabilizers, the peace keepers, the builders, the air traffic controllers of expectations and reality. And after day one, we're leaving with pace, clarity, confidence, connection, curiosity, empathy, presence. Not bad for a midweek training. As you're listening, I want you to think, which of these do I already do well? Which of these needs attention? Where do I want to grow in the next 90 days? because leadership is not a personality, it's practice. Before we wrap up, tap into my ecosystem, my book, Digital Health Navigator for HIM and health professionals who want to thrive in a digital world. My HIM toolkit on Gumroad. Oh, the book is on Gumroad as well, the PDF version, as well as Amazon. So for plug and play tools, you can actually use templates, scripts, workflows, conversation guides. And of course, follow me everywhere. TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, under Balance Health Information, or Samantha Lugine. Thank you for listening. Thank you for leading. Thank you for choosing balance when the system loves chaos. I will see you on the next episode. And yes, day 2 is coming.